Alright, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk today about this 24 Zx6R. It's relatively stock. Just got a different chain and sprocket on there. I went down 2 teeth. And obviously the different chain for the new sprocket. Changed the grips. Didn't like the stock ones. And I took the muffler off just because that servo motor in there, it was actually making a lot of noise. We're at 1,424 miles. We're fighting to get the tires up to temperature today. We just had a ton of rain come through, but watch what this sounds like with the exhaust taken off. It sounds so good. So my thought is I'll just chat away with you guys while I just ride it up and through here. Now let's get some backfires. There they are. I hope you can hear that. It's honestly like, other than when you hit the quick shifter and it does that little bap, it's such a great sound, and it's like, it's not too much, you know? Doesn't sound like it's like obnoxious, but it's just like that perfect blend. Watch. Oh yeah. But like I said, 1,400 miles on it, and the reason I took the exhaust off, it wasn't just because I wanted it louder. I actually like the quiet bike, like I said in the previous video. The reason I took it off is just because that servo motor, I don't know what it is, if mine was just defective or what, but when you would turn on the key, it would sound like just a screeching door hinge. It sounded horrid anytime I would turn the key, because it actuates when you first start it up. So once it would actuate, it would just sound like a screeching door. And I put up with it for a little while, but then I was just like, forget this. And so far, I'm actually pretty happy with it. It sounds good. I don't care to have an exhaust that is any louder than this, or, I mean, I was alright with it being quieter than this, but it's not the end of the world. So far, this 6R 40th edition, it's been a wonderful bike. I had a little bit of trouble with these Rosso 4s already. They haven't slipped, but they feel like they are very close to when you're at high lean angles. The feeling that I'm getting is nothing, basically. It's just a vagueness in the handlebars, and it's just different enough that I know the feeling. I know it's about to slip. I don't love it. I would rather have a Super Corsa up on the front, or at least a Corsa. That's the only thing that I think I would change from this current setup. The suspension feels awesome on this. The brakes feel awesome. Like, everything's just working flawlessly, and I'm loving every minute of it on this bike. The Super Sport position was a little bit to get used to. I thought I was going to need the tank grips right here, but no, we're doing fine without them now. We just kind of had to adjust some things. When you're in the corner, I was holding on too much onto the bars instead of just putting my weight elsewhere and letting the grip go on the bars. So the seating position, even though it took me a little bit to get used to, it's right on the money. I couldn't ask for better. The wind protection is incredible, just like when I reviewed this bike, I knew it was going to be. Now that I've been able to test it at higher speeds, like I said, I'm having trouble getting the tires warmed up today, so just nice and easy. Check out some of the colors while I talk to you about this ZX6 with the little bit that I've done to it. When I first rode the bike, it wasn't really in its element. Just because it was a test ride day, it was a lot slower pace. This thing doesn't really do too well at the slower pace. So I kind of think that's where a lot of the test riding thing is going to go wrong, because you need to really get on these bikes to truly enjoy them. That's just my take on it. Quick shifter has been very good. Did my break-in oil change and it was just fine. No shavings or anything like that. All the power that I really care to have, I mean, it'll do whatever I want.